Going on to all of my Taurus out there, how y'all doing? So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So for you Taurus, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, a Chariot, Five of Swords, King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and last but not least, the King of Wands. So what I'm seeing here for a lot of you Taurus, right, is I'm seeing how a lot of you Taurus happen to be very much so interested in finding somebody else. I will say that the Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, you're still, of course, we're Earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Y'all are, we're Earth signs, right? Because I'm a Virgo. We're all, right? We're Earth signs in that regard. So as a result, we all going to be making our money, right? All of us Earth signs that, get our mind right and take action, we're all going to be getting money. But the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, a lot of you Taurus really want that relationship though, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, you Taurus are lovers. I ain't got a problem with that. You know, you do what you do. So what does this mean? So this means that a lot of you Taurus are like, okay, I'm getting money, but I still want a relationship. Then go get a relationship. You're hearing it from me. Go get a relationship. You don't need me to tell you that. The Chariot, the Five of Swords, and the King of Swords. This represents how things are a little bit different because you may want a relationship, but the cards are showing me that the way that things play out, it may not necessarily be as simple as that. And that's the situation. It may not be as simple as that. So a lot of you Taurus need to understand that. Well, what's the blockage? What's holding you up? Five of Swords, King of Swords. Well, no, not really King of Swords, but Five of Swords. Because King of Swords is you. Five of Swords, right? The Chariot. Some sort of universal principles. What specifically? Five of Swords. People rejecting you. People not necessarily want to be in a relationship with you. Why? Because of the Chariot. They see being in a relationship with you as them not being able to come through and get some stuff. I told y'all, I listen, I told y'all this would happen, Taurus. I told y'all this would happen. I said to all of the zodiac signs that have been listening to me, right? I've been saying it. If you haven't been paying attention, what I said is when you understand how the game works and you understand better how dating works, you are going to understand or you're going to get curved more. Why? Because if you really want a relationship, trust me, it will become that much harder for you to date. Why? Because you will see how many people are in the game. So of course, it's my dog and my cat right there. But so of course, things are going to become more difficult for you. Why? Because it's like Neo from the better term, Neo from the Matrix. When you think that when you think, because come to find out the whole thing is the Matrix. Neo being awake is still part of the Matrix. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that when you step back and you see the bigger picture is people who run game are in the game. People who don't want to give you a chance, right? Um, because they come up with these really goofy reasons not to give you a chance, right? And it's not a justifiable reason. It's because they in the game. That's the whole reason why it is that they're doing the stuff that they're doing. Is because they're in the game. Therefore, they're not marriage material, if you catch my drift. They're not someone that you want to keep long term by definition, because you can't be in the game and at the same time be marriage material, no matter who you are. You need to leave the game first, because a person who's playing games and is in the game, that's exactly what it is that they're going to be doing the whole time. playing games, because the games is not about love. The games is about exploitation. How many people you get over on, right? While at the same time trying to do your best, even though it's terrible, what a terrible job most people do, to cover your tracks, and at the same time come out of it and get what it is that you want, smelling like roses. And the King of Swords represents. So now this means that, what does this mean? This means that a lot more of you Taurus now are going to have to get wiser, smarter. You're going to have to take a better action of going about getting to know people that you may want to get to know romantically. The way that you approach situations may not necessarily be, you know, exactly the way that you thought at first. It may not. It may not. Why? Because what you originally thought, or what you thought before this, was you were in a state of confusion. So now right? It's like a state of guessing, right? Or a state of not knowing versus a state of knowing, right? You know what's going on. So now you have an obligation to, or a responsibility to now change it. If you want effective change the way that you say, right? Now I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying that you're gonna have to take action, right? So I don't want anybody to misquote me. But if you're finding value within this reading, then it means it's time for you to come get a personal reading from me. There's a link in the comment section called the link tree. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website in which has my Instagram, my Teespring store, which you can get clothing, my the books that I have that are on Amazon, private tarot readings, um, as well as um, my Yahoo email, in which you can email me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com, just in case if you need any kind of help going to my website, right, for private tarot readings, and you may not necessarily know how to use it, or you don't want to pay me through PayPal, then you can comment, right? Excuse me, you could send me an email, and we'll go ahead and work out payment from there. But the Knight of Swords, thank you. The Knight of Swords and the King of Wands, right? This represents how, but for what's next for you is the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands, which is, um, I mean, eventually people will still try to say what's up, still try to get to know you, but it has to be the correct person. It has to be the right person, right? And the King of Swords represents how more people will come to you when you're in a state of peace, when you're in a peaceful state, not doing nothing. I'm not saying it's not about not doing anything. I never said that. What I'm saying is, when you're in a state of peace, when you found yourself, when you found your spirituality, you're right, you start getting healthy. Because unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of Taurus, y'all are beautiful, right? A lot of y'all Taurus are attractive. I've met some, you know, Taurus people, so to speak, not in my day, but recently, and they look real good. Problem is, gotta go ahead and you gotta go ahead and you gotta keep a nice body going. Gotta go ahead, keep a nice body going. Because see, Taurus can represent nutrition, or Taurus can represent obesity. And you need to kind of work that out where you represent nutrition, right? Sorry to say this, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I know, the slogan for Taurus is good food, good, you know, and then good company after that good. And that's cool. But at the same time, you want to go ahead and balance that out with some exercise, right? You don't even have to do too much. You could walk more. You know what I mean? Walk longer distances, stuff like this. Walk at a faster pace, power walk and stuff. But stuff like that. So I mean, so the premise of this entire reading is for you, Taurus, to pretty much, you're definitely on the right track, right? You're on the right track. Things are becoming more difficult, and the only reason why things are becoming more difficult to get to know people is you're seeing the BS more and more and more and more frequently. And that's a good thing, because that's what it is that you have to do in order for you to raise your consciousness, raise your awareness of where you are and what you need to do and what's going on around you and what's going on with you. These bad things, this is the thing that people don't get. These bad things, these things that perturb you, these things that disturb you, you have to encounter it more and more and more and more and more, so that you can wake up, so that you can be aware of what's going on. And the reason why I'm saying wake up and be aware is because, right, like for instance, for instance, I would not know what people do when they're playing games, right? Neither would you, because I wouldn't be able to give you the information. But I would not know what people are doing when they're playing games, right? If somebody just followed me, but I would not know what it is that people were doing, right? If I got everything done my way. How did my consciousness and my awareness of what to do and how did I get so good? Study and practice. What does study and practice mean? Study and practice meant I saw what was going on and I learned from my mistakes and then I put it into practice. I took action on it. You understand what I'm saying? But bad, quote unquote, bad things would have to happen, right? And what I mean when I say bad things is difficulties, people wasting my time, me really, trying to get to know people, but they're just all over the place. They're indecisive. They don't want to make a decision, right? Everybody wants to, so many of the people who I was getting to know wants to play. They were they were wanting to play games. Certain situations that popped up. Y'all already know I told y'all about that. Certain situations that popped up. Certain instances where the police had to get involved. So all of these things to raise my awareness so that I can know how to interact with people on a better level. Like, oh, okay, don't do this instead because X, Y, Z. This is what goes on. What happens is this, and this. I did this and I got this. And you understand what I'm saying? So that raises your awareness and therefore what it is that you can do about it. I keep dropping these cards. So let's clarify the King of Swords. Matter of fact, let's clarify the Ten of Cups. Let's clarify the Ten of Cups because that's what you want, and we're here to get you what it is that you want. We're here to get you what you want. Let's clarify the Ten of Cups. The Hermit, the Justice, the Lovers, and the Chariot. So to clarify the Ten of Cups. So again, the Hermit, people just being interested in, wasting your time, but you're gaining enlightenment from it though. Some of you Taurus are realizing what it is that I'm saying is correct, because a lot of you Taurus are using the exercise that I was telling y'all about. And I may make a video talking about that. What you want to do is you want to reflect on what it is that you're doing wrong. Now, people who are caught up in their ego, they're not gonna reflect. They're gonna I ain't gonna do. Okay, cool. Continue. Okay, life will make an example out of you. Nobody has to do anything. The Justice, the Lovers, and the Chariot, right? These right here represent now. So this is about how you're not interested in getting together with just anybody. The person has to be aware themselves. The person has to have some form of awareness. The person has to have some form of compassion. They have to be aware. They just can't be clumsy, right? Where they do anything, think of anything, say anything, and they think that they're so unaware to the point where they're numb to other people and they don't have any kind of consideration for other people. Well, you're right. That's the kind of love that you want, right? Of course, among other things. So to clarify the King of Swords, right? So we have the Seven of Cups. Sorry about that. The Queen of Cups, Three of Wands, Two of Cups. Okay, so the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups, right? Represent, to clarify, the King of Swords is about the Seven of Cups is, you finally woke up. A lot of you, some of you Taurus finally woke up. It was so much of a problem, when you weren't aware of what's going on. People give you a hard time, try to convince you you wasn't good enough, try to convince you you ain't this, because you weren't in the limelight. You weren't being, your name wasn't out there. You weren't famous on top of doing whatever it is that you're doing, right? Because a lot of people who are in the game like the shiny things, right? The shiny people, right? The the celebrity types, basically. So the Queen of Cups represents you, Taurus, just stuck to what it is that you already know, stayed quiet, and kept working. Three of Wands and the Two of Cups is, now you realize that you have value, right? Some of you will realize this. This will be this will be an eureka moment, right? Where you Taurus will understand that you do have value, and that you should have never let people treat you like this, because you Taurus do have value. You know, you bring love to the table. That, for starters, that's one of the things that people, especially today, are missing, because dating today, for the most part, if you pay attention, it's bougie. People are talking about money, cars, and jets. Do you know how much a private jet costs? To and fro, meaning to destination and from destination. It's probably, I ain't even gonna lie. It starts, if we're talking about a decent jet plane, a decent private jet plane. I took a private jet plane. Of course, it was free to me because I was going from Puerto Rico to Trinidad, free to me, because you have to have the changeover in the airport. But I would later find out how much a private jet would be, right? Private jet, I'm talking about the ones where you just now start to get respectful, where you can have space, because the one that I took was very cramped. But the private jet, the one in which you can actually have space to move and think, that cost about, I ain't even gonna lie, that's probably about $50,000 to anywhere between $80,000, to and fro, meaning to is 80,000, from is 80,000. So the dating scene has become bougie in that regard. But you, Taurus, understand, it ain't even got to be about this. You can go ahead and take a a flight first class. You know how much a flight first class is? It's probably about $2,100, much cheaper compared to a private plane. But the game done got bougie now. People want private jets and private planes. Now me, you probably might see me on the subway. But anyway, comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's it for you, Taurus. I just wanted to be comical at the end, give y'all some laughs. Um, yeah, trying to make my YouTube channel grow to 10,000 subscribers by the end of June. Right now, we have 4,606 subscribers. Smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all, so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos.